All gone.
Busy right. No. Busy right now, man.
You know what stuff?
No, busy right now. Thanks.
I'll look back.
All right. Thank you.
Oh.
Downtown life.
5 piece. 14. You get a bill for free.
That's downtown for you, yo.
Downtown life, fam.
You know, it'd be crazy. Yo, Grange Park? Come on.
Right.
I'm not even from downtown, but man's downtown told me about this corner like a couple years ago. It was legendary.
Right.
I can't even fathom the thought because I'm like, I deal with this shit now, you know? I'm like, it's all good.
Okay, you know what? Fuck the Preston story. I want to talk to you guys about that. Because I live downtown, right? I've been here 20-something years, okay? I've watched downtown go up. I've watched it go through the crack times, like when crack first got onto the street out here and it used to be really wild. And I've watched it, like I've watched Dundas Square get created.
Yeah.
Okay? Now it's gotten to the point where it's like mucky downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about like you're walking over human feces on the street.
Mad.
You're seeing people just banging needles just like on Young Street, just like sitting down on a bench, like as if it's nothing.
People tweaking the fuck out.
Like Karen walking home from work is not just walking past them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you guys are in the barbershop over here, the Apollo Barbershop, right here, 163 Queen Street. John Street, corner Queen Street. You just mentioned the Grange. What are some of the crazy things that are like, besides this gentleman that just popped up, like, give me some crazy incidents that have happened where man's are just popping in here.
You want to?
Nah, honestly, for me, like there's crazy incidents, but like they don't really stick to me because I just treat everyone the same, you know. Like there's a human being, so sometimes I'll just have my boy. His name, he calls himself Shit Show, you know?
Shout out to Shit Show.
I swear down, you know?
Shit Show's the man.
But this man, like, if you just stop and talk to him, you'd understand, like, yo, he's just like us, you know? Like, but people probably see him, you know, he's out here doing his thing. They probably judge him, you know? But same way they judge me, you know? But they don't even take the time to know us, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really like, but then when you do see some crazy shit, it's just like, I don't even know, you know? I just keep it moving, bro. Like,
that's where I started out too, was actually over at Young and Dundas. I rocked the house.
Yeah, salute to Rock the House.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, salute the Rock, man. Rock's a legend. You know what I mean? But over there was, it was literally like, as soon as you came off the train, you know what I mean? It would be right in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be right in your face. Like, just, you'd see like somebody just naked twerking. I mean, like just tweaking the fuck out, twerking on the side of the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon
gas story.
Huh?
Gas story.
Which one?
The gas one.
Oh, man.
The Jones just got a flashback like, yo, let's go. Gas story.
Yo, actually, I got in trouble for actually telling that one. Because, yeah. But that was such a long time ago, but it was whatever. It's like, it was this one dude that came into the shop. He got a lineup, let's say like on a Monday or whatever. And then he got a regular lineup, you know, from one of the barbers, comes back like 5-6 days later or whatever, end of the week. And then he was complaining. He's like, yo, you fucked my shit up. I want my money back. And the barber's like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, fuck out of here. Actually, you were here like on Monday, bro. It's like Saturday. You know, you should have came back Monday if you felt like that. You know?
Yeah.
The guy was tripping out, and then he left. He came back, and nobody's really paying him no mind outside. Man came back, and he was like, you know, dousing gas on the fucking on the front of the shop and shit.
What?
Yeah. And then like the people that were walking by, you know, they came and like kind of handled the situation, but it was a fucked up event. And then I ended up making a post about it on Facebook, you know? And I think I forgot that, like, you know, fucking people follow me and shit like that, you know? Like kind of like, you know, talk to one another or whatever. So I'm there doing a cut. And this is when I was younger, you know what I mean? So I don't really be on the social media like that. I am, but not like this.
Yeah.
So fucking, I'm there doing a cut, and then one of the older men, you know, Mario. You know, shout out to Mario. Yeah. You know Mario? Okay, yo. So Mario, he picks up the phone and he's like, hello? He's like, Yo, this man not easy. Boy, not easy. I was just like, I didn't even hear what was going on, but I knew, I kind of felt the vibe. He kind of like looked over at me, you know? And he's just like, this is not easy, bro. And I was just like, shit, you know? Sweat started coming on and shit, you know? And then he didn't even like make it a big thing, you know? He kind of held, he's a G, you know? He didn't make it a big thing like that, but check me about it after, you know? And then it was funny still. That's when I kind of like, you know, started simmering down on them type of posts and shit.
You gotta watch the socials.
Watching this shit, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is, like, but at the end of the day, like, you know, people have a business to run, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and like I didn't really see it like that. You know? It was just more like an event that happened throughout the day or whatever. And, you know, plus there's like countless things. But there's crazy things that happen here. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter where you're at. You know what I mean? Especially the downtown core, you'll see a little bit more of it and stuff like that. But shit, I used to live in the West End too, you know, and we'd be over there, you know, barbershops and whatever. You see crazy shit happen over there.
Yeah.
You know? It's everywhere.
You mentioned something, and I don't want to like say that certain areas are expected to have certain things, but obviously when you're in the end, you're in certain hoods, right? You expect, or sometimes, or people say they expect certain things, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a junkie that's moving around a little crazy, we're in the hood, right? Now over the last, and I would say 6 years, this downtown core, where there's all these glass condos, even where we are, when you look outside, there's this beautiful building on this side. Everything's super expensive. All of these like fentanyl heads and people going crazy are like literally right there.
It's crazy.
Why do you think that's happened? Because it's literally been over the last, in my opinion, 5 to 6 years where it's just gotten, like the homeless problem has gotten worse. Why do you think that is?
It's inflation, man. You know what I mean? It's like people live beyond their means sometimes. And then when things hit the fan, you know, they're like, shit, they ain't got the means to keep up with it anymore. And you never know what people are going through, you know? So some of those people actually might flick the switch up there. And the next thing you know, like they're turning to that. They're turning to that bug, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. So but man, I think times have gotten really hard in the last couple of years, you know, and these are the effects that we're seeing still. So I guess it's.
And it's crazy because imagine for the last 3 years before they gave us $2,000 a month. Money. And now there's no money.
Yeah.
And now you have to go find a job. So if you're not self-sufficient, so you're kind of doomed, exactly. You know?
And what that does to the person that is not self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying? It gets them like hooked on the reliability of that money. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you're not thinking about when this is going to end. And like, it's crazy, man. You know, like how this really affects people, you know? So I think we're just living in a very strange time where you gotta fight for what you want, you know? Like whether it's, you know, putting the right message out, you know, or working on yourself, you know, elevating yourself, you know, it's elevating others. You gotta believe in what you're doing for real, especially in this time more than ever. Yeah. You know?
Because even like in these times, like, and mental health has been more of a buzzword that wasn't used as much before, but it's a real thing, right? It's a necessary buzzword. Because a lot of these people that are outside going crazy and stuff like that, they're not all junkies.
No.
Some of these people, and then some of the ones who are on drugs and stuff like that, is a product of mental health issues that got them on the drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I was degenerate and I just couldn't fucking couldn't control myself and got too hooked on a drug or something.
Right.
Some of these people have mental health issues and they're, you know, certain issues draw them to these drugs and certain issues draw them to these drugs. It's not just by fluke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like, you know, on the real, I'm someone who can speak on experience, you know, because, bro, I've suffered from drug problem my whole life, you know? And then during COVID, it got the worst it ever gotten. Like I hit rock bottom. Like you don't even like rock bottom. Like I'll go missing for days. You know, like it got so bad to the point my family called the police one time.
Wow.
It was bad. You know, and like I was just going through my own phase in life, you know, and to the point it got really bad. And like my brother, like he's the only person who really recognized it, you know, and like he'd pull me in and like sometimes I'd be fucked up like in the morning and my bro would see me like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dog? You know, and then it really came down to the point I had to look myself in the mirror and it's like, what do I want for my life? You know, because what I'm chasing is not even real, you know, because like I'm doing all this shit and I'm sacrificing my life. And now because I don't have these things, I'm thinking about doing fraud, selling drugs, just to support a habit that's not even helping me and helping human beings to be better, you know? So for myself, like, honestly, what I had to do, I had to, like, how the transition just happened was I shut down everything. You know, I went to the gym, I stopped cutting, I had a barbershop, you know, I didn't even care. I went to the gym for a whole month, you know? Started working back on my shit. And then like, yo, honestly, I relapsed probably like twice, you know? And so then I'm like, yo, but each time I relapsed, I knew in my head this time, this is not what, it didn't feel the same no more. I just wanted better, you know? I wasn't drinking as heavy. I wasn't doing as much drugs, you know? So then after that, yo, I went back on the grind in the gym because like, once you have sex, it feels like your energy is just depleted. You know, especially if you're drinking and not doing drugs. If you have sex like 5 times in the night, you wake up, it takes you 3-4 days to get that vibe, maybe a whole week to get that vibe back, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So what I thought to myself, I'm like, if I could just get through Saturday night, I could get to Sunday and start a whole new week. So what happened was like, I just work as much as I can. And then once I got the urge of drinking, I go to the gym. The gym became my sanctuary, you know? To the point where like, after a couple of weeks, I realized I haven't even had sex or even masturbated, you know? And like now my energy's rising, I'm starting to go crazy, especially on my brother, you know? And so then like, I realized I was doing semen retention. You know?
I heard about that.
You know, it's a very powerful thing. It's like, you know, like you're not watching porn, you're not doing anything with your mind that like modern day society is really pushing in front of your face. You're blocking all that out. You know, like since I was like 15, I never shut my shit off. You know, I've been fucking, you know, like so now.
Say, you ain't fucking no bitches?
Nah, I'm not fucking no bitches. It's been 60 days. 60 days. Clean, you know? And then during that time, like during the 4th week or the 5th week of like semen retention and fighting all my urge, I was like, I'd wake up crying some mornings. I'd be dealing with all my emotions. And then one day it was just like, boom, everything just came off my eyes. I could see straight. I had no more addictions. I didn't want nothing. I don't feel for nothing. You know, now I have so much energy inside of me. I'm scared to let it out to someone who I don't like, you know, unless they're really healing themselves deeply, you know? And so that was like the change for me, you know? And I feel like if you really care about yourself and you have an addiction, like I was so down in the dirt. I was like, should I check into CAMH? Should I go to rehab? Like, but it was so dark for me to admit it to even the people who love me, you know? But now it's come out. That's why I could tell the world. Because I don't care. I know myself. I'm secure with myself. And I feel like everyone needs to hear this because if you really love yourself and you love the people around you, like if you really I swear down, if you just hold your seat and you look in the mirror every day and you resist, your life will change. Your mind will change. It's powerful, you know?
I appreciate you sharing that, King, because maybe that's something that, and I could relate to it because I'm an alcoholic, right? And when it comes to alcoholism, what I learned through like the 12-step programs or like AA, right? Is you don't say, oh, I'm a recovering alcoholic or I used to be an alcoholic, right? Because like if I was, and I haven't had a drink since 2011. But if I was to have a drink tomorrow, the cycle is going to start all over again.
It's like it spins your mind.
Yeah.
It's like a crank.
Exactly. Me and alcohol is not supposed to mix.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm an alcoholic. But here's the thing. When I hit rock bottom is when I was away in the Don jail, right? Back in 2011, when it was like, okay, I got the orange suit on. I'm not going to be able to get bail. I breached my bail, right? What you were mentioning right there, like there was at least 60 days of semen retention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in that time, and I don't know, I'm not saying that was like planned and whatever, but from what you're saying right now, maybe that could have been my turnaround, because literally when I was in that rock bottom space, that's when my brain turned that corner where I was like, I'm not going to drink anymore.
Yeah.
And I came home and I never drank since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trust me, bro, my drinking was getting so bad, I would throw up stomach acid for like 7 hours.
Wow.
And my mom was like, yo, you're going to die. You know? And I was just like, still want to try a drink. And still throw up stomach acid. Like, yo, I was retarded.
Ulcer, you were getting an ulcer.
Yeah, it was crazy, you know? So I was just like, I've always had like a dream that's bigger than life, you know? Like, I don't even know who I am yet, you know? Like, I'm still figuring it out. Like, I lost myself a long time ago, you know? I never experienced life sober in the last like 15 years. Every time we do something, take a shot. You know?
Yeah.
We just lower our vibration, you know, just dumb shit, you know? So now I'm keeping this energy to myself. I spread it through my love, through my brother, through you, through your podcast, and anything we do. Anything that's supportive of humanity and benefiting us, I can lift the vibration, you know?
What's going on?
Are you walking?
At the moment, maybe like an hour. Come back in like
Yeah.
an hour.
If you want to, you guys want, you can do a cut in real time.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
You're good?
I'm gonna wait for the sun to go down a little bit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, man, like, listen, fam, just sharing that with us in the audience here, fam, like, that's dope.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to hear this.
Most
You gotta
definitely.
be vulnerable. You know what I mean? People gotta respect that. They will respect it.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is like, even what I tell you about with the alcoholism and stuff like that, it's not the first time that I've told this to my audience, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who are watching in the audience can relate to our stories, right?
Oh, most definitely.
So they're
you know?
like, yo, if, this is how you were able to turn your corners, okay, maybe this can help me do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Most definitely. And like recently I had a crazy experience, because like rest in peace to my brother Carlos,
Yes,
and like, he passed away.
Man, for sure.
And like a lot of like, like our friends or acquaintances, and like I didn't want to go to the viewing. No disrespect to him, because I pray for my brother, but I just didn't want to see those type of people anymore. But the next day, I ended up going to the funeral and paying my respects and seeing everybody, and really just taking in the words of the pastor, and meditating on those words and those, because they're very powerful, and it doesn't even matter what religion you are, it's just, you have to take in the word of God. So then I ended up just going and it was like turning the page of seeing my old life and my new life and standing in that light, It was a good moment, and I'm glad everything could come full circle.
So do you feel that, like, if you didn't go, would it have been something that you would regret?
If I didn't go, I just wouldn't really have that recognition, of like where I was at and where I was heading to,
right.
And like, or where I was probably heading to, like, and then where I'm going. Cause I've seen a lot of my old friends, and I try to speak words of wisdom to them, cause we all come from the same place, and it's about growth and like trying to elevate ourselves, right?
Most definitely.
And sometimes you just need to hear it from someone really close to you who really knows you. That's really what it was about for me, And I still, to this day, I still pray for my guy every night. Any one of my friends who passed away, I pray for them. I pray for them. They have peace in the next life, because that's very important. And I pray they protect me. Most definitely. Especially a man like Carlos, I need him to protect me. He was a big dog,
So even speaking of, glad y'all made it to the end of this video. And if you like this video right here, we got a couple more for y'all to choose from right here. And make sure to like and subscribe, okay? And make sure to share this video to a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that the We Love Hip Hop Network is the leading network in Canada. Cheer!